Heath, and today I'm in a very remote West Texas, and this truly is Raptor country. I'll be hunting with Tony Timmons of the Sproul Ranch, going after the all-elusive Aoudad. Of course, it's absolutely gorgeous and beautiful scenery, but it is also very rugged, steep terrain. It should be a really fun, exciting, tough hunt.
Great shot, great shot.
Behind the unforgettable adventure, behind that trophy of a lifetime,
Oh my God!
There's an outfitter who makes it all happen. Join our dream team of veteran hunters and anglers crisscrossing North America to find the hardest working men and women in the outdoors. This is The Outfitters.
Sproul Ranch here in Fort Davis, Texas is the oldest family-owned and operated ranch in Jeff Davis County. We're proud to keep that heritage and that history going through the years. We're coming up on our 130th anniversary, and we look for this ranch to continue for many years to come.
With these Aoudad, how do you normally spot them and find them?
Yeah, most of the time we leave from camp. We're fortunate enough to have a lot of the Aoudad stay right here on this rim, which gives us the opportunity to do a lot of early morning spot, stalk, or drive and stalk. Anytime you're hunting Aoudad, the word stalk is going to end up in the hunt somehow.
Oh, yeah. Now, do y'all hunt a good many of them each year? I mean, how many hunters do you generally take, or how many do you usually take out of the herd?
Throughout the year, we try not to take more than probably 10, average around probably 6 to 8.
That's not bad, so not a lot of pressure.
No, not a lot of pressure. Most of the hunts, you know, we're proud to say we offer hunting, not, you know, guaranteed killing. There's no fences here. You know, we don't know necessarily what we've got. And so from day to day, we'll see animals that we've never seen before, or we'll see animals that we hadn't seen in a long time. That's the good news about hunting free range, is that, you know, it's one of those things that you're gonna get what you see, and you never know what you're gonna see.
Now, hunting at the Sproul Ranch, we went out there and you were able to just drive and stop and glass, and you look for Aoudad, and then go a little bit further and look for Aoudad, and go a little bit further and look for Aoudad. And what is a good trophy? What am I looking for on this hunt?
Well, it's important, Haley, to know beforehand that to grow a good mature trophy ram, it's going to take you 12 to 15 years for the most part. So anytime you get a 30-inch ram, that's really kind of the mark of what you want to try to go after. As we say in West Texas, masa minus, you know, a couple inches. 28-inch ram is darn sure not anything to be ashamed of, and is considered a trophy by well over 90% of ranches in Texas. This time of year, being early October, this is their rut, and their rut will last for about the next 30 days. You know, so the big rams really come out of hiding. They kind of move into the groups of ewes. So we've picked an optimum time to locate, you know, a really nice ram.
You know, hunting on the Sproul Ranch, you're having to glass from really far distances and really look hard for them, and Tony really has a great eye for them. Finally, pretty quick, we got right on a really good group. The problem is where they were located, we're gonna have to go get in the Raptor, go all the way around, go up the top of the mountain, and then try to sneak over the top. So that's exactly what we did. We drove right on up to the top of the mountain, got out, and started climbing over the rock.
Fortunate for us, we ended up topping out on what we call big balls. And at the top of this peak, we spotted a big group of rams and ewes on the back side. Right there, we've got this rock right here. Okay. This rock. Hand me your gun when I get off this rock.
Okay.
All right, Haley, that's the big ram under the tree.
Okay.
Right there under the tree.
Haley and I worked our way to the top, ended up working our way back off the backside real quietly, ended up setting up in a really perfect position to get a good shot on this ram.
He's about 375 right there. He's moving. Stay with him. Just wait for him to stop.
Shot.
I know. Wait for him to stop. Take your time.
With a mature Aoudad ram on the edge of rifle range, the margin for error is paper thin. Will Haley get her shot? The Outfitters is brought to you by Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
I'm in remote West Texas, about 3.5 hours from El Paso, and hunting at the Sproul Ranch with Tony Timmons, and it is way out in the middle of nowhere. You know, Tony as an outfitter does so much more than just hunting. I mean, he of course offers hunting for multiple species, but he also has, you know, group gatherings out there, weddings out there, and people come out there just to stay for the weekend because it's so gorgeous and so beautiful. They do lots of catering. They do eco tours. I mean, they do all kind of really cool stuff. So it's not just a, you know, one-stop hunting thing. It's tons of things that they have to offer.
The terrain here at the Sproul Ranch is a variety of different levels. Our headquarters sits at 5,500 feet, which is higher than Denver, Colorado. It's amazing to see the reaction of people when they get out here and see the types of mountains that we have, and our mountains going up to almost 7,000 feet. Most people, probably well over 90% of most Texans, don't even realize that the mountains are here and that we have this such terrain and that we have this sort of topography and environment. Just a great place to relax. Too often people ask me, what is there to do at the Sproul Ranch? I say, well, we offer what nobody else can, and that's nothing. When you get out here, you're literally off the grid.
On the first morning of the hunt, Haley and Tony locate a nice ram. But in the steep and rugged Davis Mountains, spotting a shooter Aoudad is just the beginning.
You know, this area is huge, and so once you spot them, that's only half the battle because you got to have a vehicle that can get you there.
Many people often ask, how did the Aoudad get here? There's varying stories as to how the Aoudad get here, where they came from. Obviously, they're called the Barbary sheep, and they're from the Barbary Islands off Africa, and they were imported at some point. We tend to think that they came in somewhere around the 70s and 80s and proliferated themselves basically throughout the Davis Mountains. These are the types of hills and these are the types of terrain that these animals just thrive on. Aoudad have boomed in the Davis Mountains and in far west Texas and almost can be found on every ranch around. Some places obviously better than others here, like the Sproul Ranch.
Wait for him to stop, wait for him to stop. Okay. He's the third one in line behind the ewes.
I just lost him.
Stay with him. He's the third one back. He's going to come out behind that tree.
He's fixing to come out with those other ones.
Okay,
there he is right there.
Okay, I got that. Where he is.
Don't hit that rock. Hang on, he's not stopped. Hang on, just a minute, because you can't get him running. That's him, the third one.
Okay.
He's 425, Haley. He's out of range.
Okay. Can we get around there?
Yeah, let's move around. Let's move around the other side. Okay.
You know, I just didn't have a shot, and so once he turned and went with his ewes, that ram and his group were gone. We looked and looked and looked. We tried to get around there to them again, but they were gone. We could not find them anywhere.
Went from 225 yards to about 350, 400, and then obviously out of range very quickly. But it did give us a good opportunity, got our blood boiling quick and got our juices flowing and set the stage for the remainder of the hunt.
You know, there was no option for me on what truck to bring for this hunt. Definitely the Raptor. And sure enough, when I got here, I was so thankful I brought the Raptor with me because it handled everything.
Well, I think it's important to note that the Ford SVT Raptor has been in my family for over 2 years. And the Ford Raptor, without question, has so many unique features. Here in our country, in deep and far west Texas, some of the features are utilized almost on a daily basis.
You know, one of the features that I absolutely love that I haven't used before was the hill descent control. I mean, it was a phenomenal feature that we used quite a bit.
The hill descent options that provide you non-braking in steep terrain, as well as the off-road button that provides you an opportunity to change your performances based on your options of rocky terrain to sandy terrain to hilly terrain. I think one of those favorite features is this, the ride and the comfort that the Raptor gives you based on it always feeling like it's in control. I've had a lot of people ask me questions regarding, you know, well, how does the Raptor do on the highway versus off-road? The shocks are probably one of the best attributes. The glide, everybody talks about the ride of a Ford Raptor, and that's why.
When we return, Haley's quest for an Aoudad ram takes her deeper into the rough and rugged mountains of West Texas.
I started my hunting career really early on in life, way back in my elementary days with turkey hunting. I was an avid turkey hunter as a boy growing up, and as I became better at calling and understanding all the mistakes that I'd made and other mistakes people had made, it just kind of grew through the years. And I've been guiding hunts for well over 25 years, and it's just an incredible experience. Probably the biggest challenge is finding every person's combination, because every hunter's different, just like every animal's different. Basically trying to fit that hunt to that particular person's skill set is something that, as an outfitter, I think the best outfitters, and only the best outfitters, can adapt to and obviously get to where you need to be.
Wait for him to stop. He may get to that rock and stop. He's 400.
After a nice ram gives them the slip on the Sproul Ranch, Tony makes the call to move the hunt to the adjacent property. Whoever said good fences make good neighbors has never been to West Texas. When combing the countryside for the elusive Aoudad, the more eyes the better, and ranch manager Kofer joins the search.
So Tony, Kofer, and myself hitched up the gator and brought it in on the Raptor, and we had to go down 26 miles of dirt road to get the neighboring ranch.
Today we're headed to the Escondido Ranch, which is about 26 miles south of the Marfa Highway between Marfa and Alpine, owned and operated by John Preston. It's a very historic ranch as well. The topography, the geography of the entire ranch is going to look completely different than what we were hunting there in the middle of the Davis Mountains on the Sproul Ranch. It will allow us some opportunities from the standpoint of sight and being able to see these animals from a greater distance. But obviously with Aoudad hunting, that works kind of for us and against us, because usually with Aoudad hunting, when you see them, they've already seen you. Yeah, exactly. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be challenging, but it'll be a lot of fun, and it'll give you a whole new feature of Texas that, like I said, once again, most people have never get the opportunity to see.
God, this ranch is so different than yours. The hunting looks harder but better for here. It looks like this is really Aoudad country, but we're really going to have our work cut out for us on getting to them.
Yeah, you can see the terrain's much different. It's really, really rugged. You can see expansive amounts of country.
That's why we towed the gator, was so that we could have more sets of eyes. I mean, with this much country to cover, you got to have somebody else out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the gator will give our ranch manager, Kofer, a chance to kind of go to other parts of the ranch and hopefully, help us locate.
That'll be great. This is absolutely gorgeous. I'm looking forward to it.
This is an amazing part of Texas. This is true Texas. Day 2 provided us another opportunity. We ended up locating some Aoudad literally about a mile and a quarter away.
We figured if we jump in the Raptor, go all the way around to that top ledge, and just drop down in on them, that there's a chance that they may be coming up to feed, and so we might be able to intercept them and be able to get a good shot at that point. Oh, yeah.
Because we're so committed, when we come off this big rim, we're going to take a backup.
Okay.
If something happens to your rifle, then we have a backup, so you'll have a backup rifle. And it's always good, because if we get all the way down in there committed like that and something happens and we bang that scope or something, we're committed, we're lost.
All right, drop your gun, here you go, got it.
Now, you've told me before that I need to make sure I get as many shots at him as I possibly can. They don't usually drop.
Absolutely. I mean, when you're hunting Aoudad, you're talking about less than 5% ever go down on the first shot. That's just a fact. I've killed hundreds of them, and very few of them have ever gone out on the first shot. And it's not a sign of a bad shot, but you want to get a bullet in him, and as soon as you shoot, regardless of what he's doing, and get as many shots in him until he drops.
All right.
With that sage advice, Haley navigates the tough terrain for a closer look. Will the Aoudad win again when the Outfitters returns? In the unforgiving West Texas hills, home of the Aoudad, the search continues.
We ended up making our way around. Haley and we dropped off a really nasty set of bluffs, some big boulders, big rocks. She did an awesome job staying with me step by step. We worked our way down to a spot that we just had nowhere else to go, and we had a 50-yard section that we had to get through in order to kind of get behind an obstacle for those Aoudad not to see us.
All of a sudden, we look up, and there they go, take off running. And they covered so much country and went straight back to where we already were, where we glassed them the very first time, over 1.5 miles.
You see how much country they covered in a matter of 5 minutes. They went, it took us 45 minutes to go 400 yards. It took them about 5 minutes to go almost a mile.
And so then we had to turn around, figure out a new game plan, and hike back up.
Like all successful hunters, Haley does her pre-hunt preparations, keeps herself in top physical condition, and approaches the challenge with a healthy dose of determination. With the clock ticking, she just needs a little Lone Star luck.
The next opportunity for a very big trophy Aoudad provided us a challenging experience, to say the least.
Back on the Escondido Ranch, it's divide and conquer. Tony and Haley head to a good vantage point, and Kofor follows suit.
Well, we'd go to different spots, and we'd crawl up there, and we'd get on the rocks, and we'd look down, and nothing. We just kept going spot to spot, and we had separated from Kofor so he could go look, and so we would have multiple eyes out there. Sure enough, he gives us the call. He's got them located.
They're split into like 2 groups. The one I have not seen come out of those trees yet.
What about the ram? Can you get a decent look at him?
Like I said, I could make out one being a good mature ram. I think it was probably the one I saw yesterday.
Okay, no worries, just stay with him.
Roger.
Located a big ram way down at the bottom, way off the bluff.
Well, they stayed out there at like 300 yards and then kept getting further and further away. So we're thinking, what do we do at this point? I mean, this was a huge drop off. I mean, it would take us probably all day, if not into the night, to be able to go down there after this ram. And so we're all sitting there going, what do we do? Because he's getting farther and farther, and I didn't feel comfortable with the shot that far, especially with the wind the way it was. I mean, there was just absolutely no way that I was going to be able to take that shot.
Kept moving through some really nasty set of rocks and bluffs, and we had no other options. And as hunting often goes, we'd made the decision to pour off that bluff and really just go after it. Obviously, you know, people ask me all the time, you know, man, how do you do this? You know, why do you do this? And the answer is very clear. You know, every day we wake up, and every day I wake up, I tell everybody, you know, I'm in my office. This is my office. The great outdoors is where I live. The great outdoors is what I know. And it's really a special opportunity when you can make a living, you know, taking special clients and special places after special animals and just gather that experience.
This definitely was the most intense hike I've ever done in my entire life. I mean, we dropped off the face of this mountain. I mean, I was holding on to rocks, literally rock climbing without any gear. Luckily, he was just hanging out at the bottom, but it took us well over an hour to get down there because you're stepping on rocks. You gotta watch where you put your hands because there are cactuses everywhere. But on top of that, you have that volcanic ash that you hit in different spots, and it's just slippery. It's like glass going across it. So you have to be really cautious and careful where you make every single move, not just because the Aoudad might see you, but because you want to live.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, I'm basically living the dream. And people, you know, often look at it as work, and often, as this hunt proved, it does turn into work. But there's no other life like living the life of an outfitter, living the life of a hunter, and being able to enjoy God's and nature's creations.
There he is, there he is, there he is. He just stopped, he's in that green bush, he's in that green shrub.
Big stuff.
Yeah. Let's move off to this edge, okay? Get down to the rock.
So I didn't see it.
Quiet, quiet.
Okay. You know, once we got down there and got our eyes on him, he was in such thick brush. We got into position and got ready, and he was really hunkered down in this one spot. Got on him, felt comfortable. It was a 220-yard shot.
Haley, he's sitting there. He's sitting there looking away. He doesn't know we're here. We got plenty of time.
Okay.
Get your breathing. Take your time. Pick your shot.
can't say enough for what Haley has done and what she can do, working her way all the way down through cactus and a lot of treacherous terrain that unless you've just hunted the far West Texas area, you just can't understand how dangerous some of these hunts can be. And she made her way down there, and obviously the rest tells the story.
He's still standing right there, quartered away. Take your time. Get a good shot at him. If he starts to run off. All right, I'll back you up. Get another shell in there quickly. All right.
All right, I'm on it.
Yeah. Great shot. Great shot. Get another shell in. He's moving.
Okay.
Great shot. Great shot. Drop
I got him. Oh my goodness.
Great shot.
You so
Great
much.
shot. That is an awesome ram.
Oh, that is
an awesome ram.
We have worked so hard for that. Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Texas. Let's go down and get him.
Okay. Why don't we go down a little further?
I tell you what, you shot him in the worst place imaginable, but he is dead.
That's what counts. In the last hour of the last day. Good grief. He is huge, Tony.
Big ram, big ram.
So I'm still shaking. I don't even know what to say. This thing is so huge.
I think he'll go probably 31, 32. Haley, this is an incredible representation of a trophy aoudad here in West Texas. This is common. I mean, a lot of people see this and they wonder, can I do that? Well, you can do it if you're willing to do it. And you were obviously willing to do it.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Tony Timmons, absolute best outfitter and guide in Texas.
I like that.
By a long shot. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.